A customer sent in their Frigidaire oven controller board with part number 318010102. The issue that they were experiencing was that the bake element was not powering on at all. There was no heat coming from it. So let's bench test it and confirm the fault. So the display is a little bit dim, but we should be able to still navigate. Okay, it says 350 for the bake. Let's flip it over. I have my multimeter in continuity mode. So when we have continuity, we get a beep. And let's check. We have no continuity between our L1 and bake element. Okay, so that is in line with what the customer was experiencing. Okay, next we're going to check the broil. Let's give it a second. There we go. So we do have continuity for the broil element. Let's try one more time just to be sure with the bake element. So with the bake element, it typically will go to broil first. And we do have continuity, but then it's supposed to switch over to the bake, and I just heard it click, and we don't have continuity. So that does confirm the broil element is getting power, but the bake element is not. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nick. I started Nick's Electronics Repair over a decade ago, and since then have fixed hundreds of these oven controller boards. My first step when trying to diagnose an issue with the bake element is to look at the back side. And I can already see a severely burnt cracked joint here. We're gonna take a closer look using the microscope. So for contrast, this is the joint right here for the broil element, and this is the one for the bake element. As you can see, it is burnt. You can see separation between the actual joint and the pin of the relay itself. And if we look at some of the other joints, we can see there is a little bit of cracking starting to occur. So these joints, they are good. They're working right now, but if we don't resolder those, it is likely that they will fail in the near future. Let's just do a quick little inspection on some of the other joints. Okay, the other ones look okay. This one has a little bit of stress, so we'll definitely want to touch it up as well. Now, before we begin the repairs, there's quite a bit of oils and other residue on the controller board as well as on the shell. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick clean off screen, and we'll reconvene in just a few minutes. We're going to start by tackling the defective joint first. What I want to do is add a lot of solder, get really good flow, and then we're going to desolder everything, because there's a lot of burn residue, and the burn residue is going to prevent really good solder bond. We don't want impurities in our solder. So after we get good flow, it'll be a lot easier for us to remove all that solder, including the original solder. And now we can use isopropyl alcohol and a brush, and we're just going to clean the area off. Now we're only really going to do this for this specific joint because of the burn residue. Now we can add new fresh solder. There we go. And for some of these other joints, because we don't have impurities from burn damage, we're okay to just add additional new solder and get really good flow. There is flux embedded in the solder we are using, and that's why we're seeing so much flux on the joints despite me not adding additional flux. So it is a common misconception to believe that when we have a bake or broil issue, it's because the relays themselves are defective and need to be replaced. But 9 times out of 10, these relays are actually really, really high quality. It's extremely rare for them to fail. So most often you never have to replace them. You just have to reflow the solder joint. So that's what we did today. I've plugged the unit back in. We're gonna go ahead and activate our bake element. And I'm trying to put the shell so that you can see it. So again, continuity mode, we get a beep when we have continuity. And it should trigger the broil first, which it just did. And then it should click off and then switch over to the baking, which it just did, and now we have continuity. We did not have continuity just a few minutes ago before we did the repair. So that confirms that the relay itself was not defective, it was the joint that was bad and just needed to be reflowed with new solder. Now the display is quite dim. The customer did not purchase the display repair. I will be reaching out and letting them know that it is probably to their advantage to have us replace the display while we have it here. But there are other repairs that we are going to be performing here in just a second. Whenever we see the crack cracked solder joints on the relays, often there are other areas that can suffer from similar damage, even though they may not have fully failed or manifested yet. So let's go over those next. So the other area to check is the J1 connector. Sometimes when it starts to have cracked solder joints, we'll get an F3 or F1 error code. Same thing, we want to pay close attention to our joints. We want to see, do we see a ring or cracking occurring? And I'm actually not seeing that too much here. I would say this joint right here on the end is starting to get quite a bit of stress, so we'll want to reflow it. But even though we actually don't have damage, we're still going to go ahead and reflow it. That is a part of our flat rate service, performing preventative repairs before the fault occurs so that we can ensure long-lasting repairs. Same as before, we're just going to go ahead and add some fresh solder. And so if you're experiencing an F3 error code, 9 times out of 10, this is going to be the issue when it comes to controller board failures. It is possible that your temp probe could also have gone out, but often it is an issue with the connection between the temp probe and the controller board, and that'll occur at these joints right here. So I'm actually not a huge fan of some of these joints. So we're going to add a little bit of extra flux, and we're just going to touch those up real quick. If you have a defective oven controller board that you would like to send in for us to fix, we do offer flat rate services, which come with a 1-year warranty. Those are available on our website, which I will link in the video description down below. All right, that looks really good now. Okay, another area of high stress is going to be these, what I call typically spade pin connectors. They're not technically spade pin, but this is where all of the high voltages go through. And that means that that is where most of the heat comes through. So these joints right here can often get cracked joints. Let's take a look. They look actually really good. There's no indication of heat stress at all on these. And then we're going to do one other check here on the pins of the transformer. If you have a dead no power fault, the transformer pins could have cracked joints and cause that issue. They look okay. Now, the reason that a lot of these joints will start to crack and fail over time is simply because of heat, which creates expansion, and cooling down, which creates the contraction. When you have a lot of expansion and contraction happening over and over the course of 10, 15, 20 years, you'll start to develop microfractures in the solder joints, which will eventually weaken them. And that will actually kind of start a cascade avalanche event where it will get hotter as the joint gets weaker, and it will accelerate the failure. So that's why it's important to preemptively reflow these. Visually, they may not have failed, but internally it's possible that there is a lot of microfractures that we just can't see with the naked eye. And actually, we did skip a relay over here. I believe this is our relay for the clean function. It is rare for this one to have issues simply because the clean function is not used quite often. Oh, you know what? I apologize. My mistake. We are doing the convection relay. This is the clean relay over here. But same thing, bake and broil are typically the first to go, bake being the number one, and that's simply because the bake function is the most commonly used on ovens. All right, so same thing just happened. Not super happy with the flow of some of those joints. So we're gonna add extra flux, and we're gonna touch those up. So there is one more repair we're going to be doing. This one we're going to be doing off screen, but that is to replace the electrolytic capacitors. Those are known to sometimes also fail, and they do have a shelf life. Given that these controller boards are 15 to 20 years old, it is typically wise to replace those before they fail. For the purposes of this video, we're going to call this one a successful repair. We did resolve the no bake issue that the customer was experiencing. If you found the video helpful or useful, make sure to leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thanks for watching.